Okay, so this has been left overnight, so it has an opportunity to dry. So now, here comes the big mystery. Let's see how we did at our color mixing, or at least how I did at my color mixing, and see if I get a decent sky. All right, so the sky's a bit darker than I'd like for it to be, but it's workable. And some green ended up coming up in there where I don't want it. And let's take a look here. Okay. Okay, so here's the thing. So this is workable. It's not exactly what I wanted, but it's definitely something I can work with. Now, I'm going to leave the masking fluid on because, see, I've got too many open spaces where paint didn't get. Here, let me make sure this is oriented correctly on the screen. So what you can see here, those are going to be a completely different color. All right. The sky's not too bad. I'm not crazy about the way this looks, but I do like this outer part. So I'm going to work a little bit to lighten some of this up. There's sections here that are awfully pale that I'm not crazy about. So because I'm wanting to do some of this that's more detail oriented, I don't know that I'm going to lay in another wash of color. I think I'm going to go in with the color wax, the watercolor crayons and the watercolor pencils to fill in and give me some of the detail that I want. Because like up in here, I want to see some addition. I want to see some darks, and so I'm going to highlight some of those things. And I don't want to accidentally kind of go over. And I've got like some places where there's no blue here at all. So I'm going to want to come in with one of my watercolor. All right, let's see. Like I can take, because this is really dark in here, I can actually pick up some of that paint and move it. It's one of the nice things about watercolor on canvas is that if I don't like something and I want to lighten it up, I can simply pick up that pigment and move it somewhere else. And I can kind of work to eliminate some of those harsher lines that I don't really want to see necessarily in my sky, at least over here. Now, one of the nice things that this does, even though you don't usually see this in Ireland, is even though I generated a kind of a flat horizon line, I ended up with a section over here that looks like it's got like a hill or a mound. And then I've got a piece over here that's green, not blue. I am going to come in here. This is a perfect opportunity for me to use my freshly minted, let me get that paint out of that one before I put it up. All right, I think I've already mentioned, if you haven't caught one of my other videos, I love using these. They have water in them. They've got a good brush on the end. You simply can squeeze and get the water that you want and pick up the pigment. So I have some Sleeping Beauty turquoise here. This is a Daniel Smith watercolor, and it's stunning. And I'm going to kind of pick that up, and I'm going to lay that in here, and I'm going to lay it in over this green. I want to kind of blend it in a little bit. I want it to be more blue than it is, and this will help with that. And then I've got a little bit of purple that came in here. And I'm going to just kind of, like I said, I'm going to come in here and lay in this blue that I want. And I'm going to be able to come in and blend it in with the other blues that are on here. But I'm going to be able to kind of lighten out that green so it's not, so I'm going to have a differentiator here. with this green, I'm going to kind of mute that down a little bit because I do not want that green. I want it to be blue. I don't want that there, so I'm going to kind of come in here and adjust. And I'm going to pull this really nice Sleeping Beauty turquoise to do that. And then see how I've got a really dark right here, but it fades too soon. I'm gonna come in here and fill in those gaps. I ended up with far too many gaps that don't have enough color in them for my taste, for what I want to see here. So, and then I can take and pull that same blue off into here. And in some places I'll leave that kind of nice sharp edge. And I like how that purple has come in, so part of what I want to do is I want to look for one of my purples. So I've got a purple here. I'm going to pick up. I just get it wet, and then I take my brush and get in there and uh-oh. Okay, let's see what's happening. All right, well, I don't know that this is working out too well. There's might be something wrong with this paint. Some of my paints do not do well. Here, let's pick a spot where I can kind of... Okay, this feels kind of weird because, like, it's not that it's still wet, but the masking fluid is sticky. I'm not really quite accustomed to encountering that. Seems a little weird. I want to pull some of that purple. Take and pull some of that around. Yeah, I'm going to want to use my colored pencils, and there is something wrong with that paint. So I'm going to ditch that paint. That is not clean out my brush over here. Okay, guys. So what you're seeing is kind of the beginnings. It takes the next section, when I come back in, you're going to see is that it is going to take me significantly longer to do the rest. Because, like I said, I've got places in here where I want to fill in. I'm going to want it to have more texture like grass. Even though I'm an abstract artist, there are some concessions, right? This is okay, but it needs to be improved. So this is kind of like that first layer of color that you put down, and then you kind of go, okay, sort of what I wanted, but it doesn't quite look right. That's where you have to remember that you have to trust the process when it comes to painting, and keep moving forward. So that's what we're going to do. So, but I wanted to, I had to see what this looks like. I could not wait until I came back from my anniversary weekend. And I set my lid down to my paintbrush somewhere. I'll find it later. So I hope that this kind of helps you see, like, this gives you some of the structure and some of the foundation in terms of the way that I paint. And then you're not done just because it's an abstract piece. You still have to come in and do additional work and add additional layers and do additional washes in order to get what you want. I hope you have an amazing day. This is kind of a short video, so I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you in the next video.